People are saying that Biden orchestrated the conviction of his own son in order to justify the criminal charges against Trump. That is how you think when you are in a cult.
President Joe Biden's son, Hunter Biden, was just found guilty on 3 federal charges after a conflicted and corrupt judge, along with a Republican DA, brought a case. I'm just joking, but could you imagine if Democrats talk like that? This MeidasTouch article reads, today, a federal jury has found Hunter Biden guilty on 3 federal charges in a case brought by special counsel David Weiss in Delaware. The 3 charges include 1. Making a false statement material to a firearm sale, 2. Making a false statement in a firearms transaction record, and 3, possession of a firearm by a drug user. Biden faces a possibility of up to 25 years in federal prison, although he will likely receive a significantly shorter sentence, one that may not include incarceration. Previously, Hunter Biden and the special counsel had a plea deal where Hunter Biden would plead guilty to 2 misdemeanor federal charges in exchange for a probation sentence. That deal later fell apart in front of the judge, prompting Weiss to move forward with the current trial along with additional federal tax charges in California. And the Maga reaction to Hunter Biden's conviction has been wild. A lot of it is exactly what you'd expect, but there were some surprising reactions. An unsurprising reaction from Charlie Kirk. He says, Hunter Biden guilty, yawn. The true crimes of the Biden crime family remain untouched. This is a fake trial trying to make the justice system appear balanced. Don't fall for it. And Eyes on the Right rightfully points out, see, even when they get what they want, it's a part of a nefarious conspiracy against them. And that is exactly what I say about MAGA all the time. They have an explanation for everything that happens, whether it's good or whether it's bad. Now that Hunter Biden was actually convicted, actually found guilty, they're saying that it's a ploy by the Democrats who still control the justice system to make it seem like the Biden crime family isn't actually a crime family. Matt Gaetz said, the Hunter Biden gun conviction is kinda dumb, TBH, and that is honestly the last take I'd expect from Matt Gaetz. I thought he'd capitalize on this. Maybe he's trying to downplay this charge and say, see, even Democrats get convicted on dumb charges. It plays into his argument that Donald Trump got convicted on dumb charges, but I don't buy it. I mean, if Hunter Biden was guilty, he was guilty. If a jury found him guilty, then I will accept that. I'm not going to contest it. Friend of the show, Hutch, points out, the same DOJ that Trump claims that Biden corruptly influenced to go after him just secured 3 guilty verdicts against Biden's son, disproving the theory that this is a Biden-influenced DOJ whatsoever. President Biden also thankfully said he has no plans to pardon his son. He thinks it would be an abuse of power, but that doesn't stop right-wing MAGAs on Twitter from saying, oh, Biden's going to pardon Hunter Biden within the last few hours of his presidency. They think that Joe Biden in the last hour of his presidency is going to pardon his son, but I think Biden knows that that is an abuse of power. President Biden knows that's an abuse of power. They falsely project Donald Trump's corruption on Joe Biden, and it's incredibly telling. Just because Donald Trump would do that does not mean Joe Biden would. But this article reads, Trump defends Hunter Biden and vows to save him if elected. Donald Trump implied Tuesday that he would pardon Hunter Biden if he is elected to the presidency. In a statement from the former president, Trump claimed he was on the younger Biden's team. Biden was found guilty on 3 counts Tuesday after a jury found he applied for a gun and checked a box saying he wasn't an addict despite using drugs at the time. It is hard to blame him for wanting a gun, which he has a God-given right to have under the Second Amendment, Trump said in a statement. Trump went on to call it the best amendment of them all. The former GOP president then turned to attack the current president, implying that Joe Biden didn't use the Justice Department to save his child. A contrast with ongoing Republican claims that the president is weaponizing the DOJ to attack MAGA fans and Trump in particular. They can't even keep 2 conflicting narratives going on in their head at one time. According to Trump, he is also willing to pardon Hunter Biden. His father, referring to Joe Biden, has told an ABC News reporter David Muir that he would not pardon his son if he is convicted. Trump claimed that Joe Biden was playing politics with his son's trial. Biden, he said, is more concerned with making the gun control people happy, so he won't have the courage to step in here and help Hunter. Don't worry, Joe. I will save your son after I get elected for the 3rd time. Of course, everything Donald Trump said there was a complete lie. President Biden doesn't care about pleasing the gun control people, but he does does care about the rule of law and upholding the presidential norms, he isn't going to abuse the office of the presidency to pardon his son. That is a personal endeavor and has nothing to do with his duties as the president of the United States. Again, Donald Trump knows that he would erode all of these unspoken norms and pardon his son if he were in that position, so he's projecting that onto Biden, saying, why don't you pardon your own son? But here's a clip of ranking member Jim McGovern going in on the Maga cultists for not being able to hold a coherent position on the Hunter Biden conviction. Watch.
And as usual, the only Trump derangement syndrome going on around here is on the other side of the aisle. I mean, people are saying that Biden orchestrated the conviction of his own son in order to justify the criminal charges against Trump. That is how you think when you are in a cult. So here's the bottom line. Republicans just can't wrap their heads around the idea that their presidential candidate, your presumptive nominee, is a convicted felon. That is not the result of a sham process or some vast conspiracy by the Biden administration. That is the result of the truth. And these attacks on our justice system have to come to a stop. They are dangerous, they are irresponsible, they are nothing but false conspiracy theories being pushed to try and excuse the actions of the former president, and they are made even more absurd by the outcome of the trial this morning in Delaware.
Amazing point there. This constant undermining of our legal and judicial system that we see coming from Republicans is exactly how authoritarianism grows. When you undermine every single institution, it makes it easier for an authoritarian leader to tear those institutions down, and the average citizen wouldn't even notice how much they benefit from said institution. So great points from Jim McGovern. I also like how he says that these claims of a Biden-controlled DOJ are made even more absurd by the ruling this morning about Hunter Biden. Just all around great points. On the other side of that, we have some absolutely terrible points coming from Fox News. They're claiming that President Biden can no longer call Trump a convicted felon at the debates because Trump will throw it right back at him. But we're not voting for Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden is not at the top of the Democratic ticket. Watch.
Times opinion editor Charlie Hurt for more on this. Charlie, I guess this afternoon kind of takes away the arrow that President Biden had in his quiver for the upcoming debate where he could refer to Donald Trump as a, quote, convicted felon and not expect that he was going to get it right back at him.
Yeah, it certainly does make it a lot sloppier for their best laid efforts to hang that title on President Trump.
Hunter Biden being convicted of crimes does not make President Biden a hypocrite when he calls Donald Trump a convicted felon. Donald Trump is at the top of the Republican ticket. Hunter Biden is not at the top of any ticket. These situations are just worlds apart, but Republicans cannot see that, of course. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, comment a blue heart if you made it this far, hit the subscribe button, and have a great day.